I gotta say, our parents were right all along. It really is our damn phones. Our damn phones are the reason why this young generation, I know me, I'm 21, but, people in their teens and early 20s and maybe even late 20s, you know, why we're all just so mentally kind of fucked up, if I'm gonna be honest. You know, anxious, stressed, depressed, have a lot of fear of missing out, always feel like we're out of place, always feel like we're never doing enough, always feel like we aren't ever enough. It's because of our damn phones. And something my mom used to always say to me is like, without that phone, Ryan, you wouldn't know how to get anywhere. Because I used to always use Google Maps, even if she would tell me, oh, just like go down here, go this way. I'd be like, no, I'm going to use Google Maps because it's like going to give me the quickest route. She would always get so pissed off. She'd be like, I know the quickest route. You don't need that damn phone. Without that phone, you couldn't do anything in life. And I used to always tell her, like, I'm going to always have the phone. Like, but something I realized is without this phone, dude, you would have to sit with your own thoughts a lot more. You would have to actually be bored. And boredom is something we're all missing out on. And boredom, like, you may think, like, oh, I don't want to be bored, but you do want to be bored because that's when you allow your mind to wander and your imagination to wander and your mind to grow, too. When you allow that mind to wander, you get creative. You have those thoughts, and you also reflect on yourself. You learn things about yourself. But when we're always so distracted, and we're always looking for the answer outside of us now, we go to YouTube, we go to Google, we go to Reddit, we go to TikTok to search up anything. Maybe you even searched up, why do I feel sad? Why do I feel depressed? Why am I so anxious online? But you never looked inwards on why you feel that way. And I know personally for me, last night I was looking inwards, matter of fact. Last night was like the weekend everyone was going out for Halloween. Okay, I'm 21 now. I don't really I don't really want to go out and do that. I just want to get locked in on my stuff and make something out of myself in my 20s. But I'm on Snapchat scrolling, and I just see people going out, doing this, doing that, and then I start to get sucked into it, and I'm like, fuck, bro. You should go do something. Even though, I wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. For me, that's, a mandatory to wake up at 5 a.m. every single morning. And it's, 10:30 at night, and I'm like, fuck, dude. And I'm just scrolling on my phone all fucking night. Kind of trying to figure out something to do, even though I was tired. Even though I was, half asleep. I was just so sucked into my phone, having this FOMO, fear of missing, fear of missing out something. And I felt stressed, and I felt kind of, anxious. Then I felt out of place. Then I felt inferior. Then I felt depressed too. I'm like, fuck, why does my life suck? Why am I sitting in my room while everybody else is out having fun? And I just lay back. I put my phone away and I just lay back and I'm like, it's this damn fucking phone. If I wasn't exposed to all that information, seeing all that stuff, man, I would feel perfectly fine right now. I'd probably be reading my book. I'd probably be sleeping, doing what I should do to achieve the goals I want for myself in life. I'd probably have a lot more mental peace. But no, dude, there was just so much information. There was too much going on. And it caused me to feel all those types of ways. And that's the thing about social media is you're constantly comparing yourself. Because think about it this way. How many people do you You're looking into everyone's life on a day-to-day basis when you're on your phone. When you're on Instagram, on TikTok, on Snapchat. You're looking into people's lives. But the thing is, people are only going to want to post the best stuff. People are only going to want to post their highlights. Because everyone online, they have a type of ego. Oh, we want to post this so Stacy thinks we're cool. Oh, we want to post this so our friends think we're having fun, right? Oh, we want to post this because it boosts our ego. Makes us look better, cooler, more fun, right? And so that's the only thing that people really post. for the majority part. And so everything's a highlight reel. I know some fitness influencers who literally just post shredded photos of them all year round, even though they look like shit at the moment. Like, not like shit, but they look like a regular human being at the moment. But they just constantly post photos of them only looking shredded and only looking good. Fuck, I even kind of do that. And so, like, if you were to see that, you would see, oh, this person is always living such a good life. And why do I feel these types of ways? When I look in the mirror, I don't look like that all year round. But the thing is, they feel that same exact way. It's just, you don't see that. They're not sharing that with you. Because it would decrease their image online, so they don't want to share that with you. They just want to look their best. And so when there's tens and dozens and hundreds of people doing this online, only showing you the best, you look at that, you compare yourself, and you go, why am I not always at my best? Then you get anxious. Then you feel like you're far behind. Then you get depressed, man. Then you lay there in bed and you're like, fuck my life. My life sucks. Everybody else's life is way better. But once you actually get off that thing, man, you have nothing to compare yourself to. The only things you have to compare yourself to is yourself and how are you doing? You know? Then you just focus on you and your life. And I think that's why so many of us struggle mentally, because we're distracted. So we're never able to look at ourselves and our lives and inward. And we're never able to be bored and allow ourselves to, our mind to wander. You know, I know the times that I've grown the most in life is when I cut out my phone heavily. It was actually about a year ago. It was about a year and a half ago, kind of. I really hit like a low point in life. I was working a job I hated. I had this girl that was cheating on me. It was just a really low point in my life, dude. I broke up with that girl. I quit that job. And, you know, one thing I did is I deleted Snapchat. I stopped talking to girls, right? Got off like dating apps. And I just really got off my phone in general. You know, what I realized is that if you don't use social media is going to use you. Like, if you aren't using it to grow a following, make money, you know, or to learn something, like, it's going to use you. It's going to take your time and get you sucked in there. And that's how these companies make money, right? That's why they only push the content that makes life look amazing, right? That's why they only push content that is like good content in a type of way, you know? Because that keeps you sucked in there. The real authentic content really never tends to get pushed very hard because it doesn't suck people in. It doesn't make people feel bad in a type of way. And it's kind of curious when you think about it that if social media was making you feel okay, you wouldn't go on it, right? But it's the fact that it kind of makes you feel bad about yourself is why you're addicted to it. It's a really strange thing to think about. But you can think about it like a drug. You know, when you get high on a drug, you come up. And then once you come down from it, you come down. And then you're like, I need more. It's like nicotine. If you vape, you hit the vape. Oh, I feel so good. Right? 10 seconds later, you're like, fuck, I need more. It's the same with social media. When you go on social media, you're like, oh, I feel so good. Then when you get off it, you're like, oh, life is so boring. Life is so mundane. That's why the exciting content that makes life look amazing, right? That is what draws you in. That's what keeps you attached. And so realize that algorithms are set up to just keep you addicted to it. And because it's set up in that type of way, man, social media just makes the world seem like something it isn't. And so the world you think you live in is not even the world you live in. If you really think about that, like if you dive deep into that, realize that a majority of your worldview has been developed by social media and algorithms. You know? For example, if you're like one side of the politics versus the other, it's going to show you more of that one side more than the other, right? Like if you're more Trump side, it's going to show you more Trump stuff, and it's going to show you bad Kamala Harris stuff, right? But if you're more Kamala, it's going to show you all the good Kamala stuff and all the bad Trump stuff. And then because that's all you see, that's all you know. And so your worldview is kind of distorted if you really think about it. Your phone is telling you kind of what to believe about this world. Think about how massively that impacts just the way you're going to live your life. And so going back to how I cut everything out like a year and a half ago, I cut all this bullshit out, and I realized that social media was just using me, and I decided to use it, right? So I only went on there to post. I only went on there to, get clients for my coaching business, right? I only went on there to use social media to my advantage. And this is really when I leveled up big in life and time. This is when I really leveled up big in life. Because I was so focused on me. I was just living my life that I was actually using my own brain. And going back to how my mom said, without Google Maps and the phone, I couldn't figure out where to go. Think of that, I always have Google Maps. I'll know where to go. But if you expand further on that, then you realize we're all searching for the answer on our phone. But does our phone have the right answer for us? No. The right answer should be found within. It should be found through reflection. By looking inwards and questioning your thoughts and beliefs and what actions you should take and testing them out. That is how you grow and learn in life. If the answer always comes from this, you are never going to learn how to become self-autonomous. You're always going to be connected to the matrix. And so you're just being fed, kind of spoon-fed, what to believe, what to do with your life. And I think that's why a lot of us end up in positions we don't like to be in, that make us feel depressed. Because the actions we take stem from our thoughts, and our thoughts are not even fully ours. They're being controlled by this right here. Right now, your thoughts are being controlled by my words, if you think about that. Right? What I'm saying to you is going to make you probably take different actions today, because you always work off what you recently heard. And so if you're always hearing these different things on life, you're always going to be taking actions from the things you heard on your phone, from the things you heard online, or from the things you've seen. But when you truly start to live your own life, man, that's when your decision-making process becomes super strong. That's when you can truly think for yourself and ask yourself, what is the best decision to make here? Right? How do I want to live my life? You're not living it because you saw somebody else online looking like they had an amazing life, and now you're trying to obtain that. And, that's a lot of issue a lot of young people run into, is they see a lot of people online living an amazing life. And they're like, that's the life I want to live, because clearly their life is better. And so they try to take actions to attain that life. But because it's not truly aligned, that lifestyle is not truly aligned with what they truly want from themselves, like deep down what I believe, you were put on this earth to become and do with your life, because I believe you have your own calling and your own purpose, and it's going to be different from everybody else's. Because you have your own calling and purpose, when you try to obtain somebody else's calling and purpose, it's going to be out of alignment, and it's not going to work for you. That's why it's going to make you end up feeling like depressed, sad, inferior, like you're not better than other people, because that's not your path in life. And so when you're trying to walk down it just doesn't work for you. The path that works for you is your path, but you can't discover that on here. You can only discover it through yourself. Something I also find myself doing, if I'm going to be completely honest, because that's what these videos are all about, is pursuing and talking to a lot of women online that I don't see myself marrying. And that's something I That's the conclusion. That's a realization I came to last night. I don't want to share this because I know a lot of young men that watch me, and you know, I want to be real. There's a lot of women I talk to and pursue online, and last night when I was laying there, you know, I saw some of them going out. I saw some of them doing stuff. I wasn't invited, and like at first I got kind of like angry, like what the fuck, like we're talking like this now, you're just at a party and shit like that, like what the fuck. And I just didn't like that feeling. And then I asked myself, like, wait, is this a woman you would even marry? No. And what I realized is, why would you pursue something that isn't going to be forever? And the conclusion I came to, it's because of the fucking phone. It gets us addicted to instant gratification. We're always chasing the next thing, the next dopamine hit, right? The next new experience. Because we're constantly scrolling our phone, we see all these 60-second videos, new experience, new dopamine hit, new etc. And it's going to translate over into our relationships in life. Because I know me, dude. Something I struggle with, and I hate it, man. It's just these short-term relationships. Dude, I've been through a dozen relationships from 13 to 21. That last 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. It's fucking sad, dude. When all I want is to find one to spend my life with and grow with. To lock me down, man. Right? And I think it simply just comes from the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. So with our phones delaying our timeline, like our vision for ourselves, with our phones just causing us to become more addicted to instant gratification, you get in relationships with people that you don't truly see yourself staying, forever with. You're just thinking about, okay, what does the next week of this relationship look like? What does the next month of this relationship look like? Oh, we get to go on a date. Oh, she's going to come over. Oh, this. Oh, we're going to fuck. Oh, that's going to feel so good. But then if you truly take a step back and you look long term, like, what does the next year look like? What does the next 10 years look like with this person? And once you look at that, everything in your life, then you only start to pursue the things that are long term. But it's not about what you need to do, it's about what you need to stop doing. And so when you take a step away from your phone and you look at your life and you realize, in order to get the same amount of dopamine this phone is giving us, we have to actually work towards things long term. Like 50 years ago, a man had to go out, become successful, get a wife, build a family, buy a house, do all this stuff to probably get the same amount of dopamine that 8 hours of scrolling on our phone gives us. Like, think about that. That's why people used to be so much happier. Because they were actually working towards gratifying things. And I discovered all that through that journey a year ago when I kind of just completely cut on my phone. I worked towards a long-term thing. You know, my first long-term thing was doing my first bodybuilding show. It took me 4 months of prep. I was so locked in. I was so dialed in, right? I was up at 4 a.m. every single day. I sleep at 8 o'clock every single day. Just so focused on my goals. So focused on my growth in life. So focused on my vision. Not being distracted by this phone because I had to be locked in. I had to just be living in this box. And yeah, getting over the withdrawals at first was hard. Of constantly wondering, oh, what's going on social media, blah. But because I wasn't on there, I was able to lock in. I was able to really focus in on a long-term vision, man. And that truly just fucking changed my life. And I was so happy at that time. And that's what I brought myself back to last night. And I deleted Snapchat again. I deleted apps that I knew I didn't need. I haven't been going on social media the past couple days as much. I've maybe had like a 2-hour, screen time on there. And it's just been so fucking good. I feel like I'm actually excited to do the things that are going to grow me in life once again. I'm excited to sit down and read that book. And I'm only excited to sit down and read that book or do that work because my mind isn't distracted by what's going on online. Blah, blah, blah. Like all that fucking instant gratification. I'm actually able to delay my gratification, right? And take the actions and develop the habits that are going to benefit me long term. The hardest part in my self-improvement journey, I remember making a TikTok video on this a while ago, was just overcoming FOMO, overcoming fear of missing out. And I think that's something big we all struggle with. It is a fear of missing out of something. But truly, what are you missing out on? You're only missing out on the imaginary. Because if you weren't invited, if your friends didn't text you and say, hey, this is what's going on, let's go out, you're not missing out on anything. You're just seeing 100 different people's lives, right? And you think you're missing out on something, but you're not. Those aren't your friends. It's really funny to think about how many connections we think we have that we don't truly have. Right? You see all these friends online. You think you have a connection with them, but you don't truly have a deep connection with them. Your connection is just their social media fucking profile. And think about how many relationships that destroys. I think a majority of my breakups have been through the fucking phone. I don't think there's a single breakup I have been through that I have met up with the person and I have talked about why we are ending it. I have talked about why we need to go separate ways. And when I think about that, I'm just like, that's fucked up. I probably, not personally me, but me and the other person probably ruined something good because of how we translated ourselves through this fucking phone. Right? Because if you're texting through a breakup, it's just it's texting. That 7% of human communication is the words you actually speak. And so you're only getting 7% of the picture. You're only having 7% understanding. When a majority of communication it's tone. It's the eyes. It's how you move your body. It's the energy you feel between you and that person as well. And so think about how many relationships this phone is destroying. Because we miscommunicate our feelings. Because we miscommunicate ourselves to other people. Something I thought about my last breakup is the last time we ever hung out, it was awesome. We were perfectly cool. We were fine. Everything was cool. But then just a month later, we break up through a text. And it's the last memory I ever have of that person, we were perfectly cool. We were perfectly fine. Now, if I ever see that person again, it's going to be completely different. What the fuck is that? I can't wrap my head around it. And I think you might feel that way as well. And that's why a lot of us are just what the fuck is going on in this world? And so I think the real solution is you have to just learn how to become disciplined with the phone. You have to understand how this thing is affecting you. And then you can move in a way, you can live your life in a way to, yes, use this phone to your advantage, but not let it destroy you. Because these technologies can really fucking destroy you. They can really fuck you up, man. They can really ruin a lot of things that could be good. It could really ruin a life that could be good. You could live such a better life. But if you're consumed and sucked in by this phone, man, it's only just going to make it worse. So think about how much life has just been wasted. Scrolling, comparing, getting FOMO, thinking that you're not as good as other people. Think about that, man. That's just fucked in my opinion. And I think about how much reflection you're missing out on. How much boredom you're missing out on. How many good ideas you could have. right? How many good thoughts you could have if you were just to allow yourself to sit there and be bored and think and, just, dude, I'm just looking out the window right now. I'm just looking at the sun rising. There's birds flying right there. There's trees, the fall, there's leaves. They're beautiful, man. But I only see the beautifulness of the world because I wasn't consumed by my phone this morning. I know if I was on there and I scrolled, through Instagram for a little, my dopamine levels would be so high that I couldn't just appreciate the small things in life. And I think living life in a state of gratitude is the best state you can live your life in. Because when you're constantly grateful, man, when you're feeling this gratitude, you just have such a good attitude towards everything. Gratitude opens the door for the correct attitude you need to live your life with. And your attitude, it's going to change the way you see a lot of things that happen in your life, the way you view a lot of things, a lot of events that happen. There could be an amazing opportunity right in front of you. There could be an amazing thing that happens to you. But if you have a shitty attitude towards it, all you're going to see is a shitty experience from it. And on the flip side, you can go through a lot of bullshit in life, but if you have a good attitude towards it, you can grow from it. You can become better from it. But I really think this phone fucking destroys our attitude, man. Because it doesn't show the struggles online. We think we're the only one struggling. We think we're the only one dealing with bullshit. But everyone goes through it. Everyone goes through the same exact shit we're feeling. And the thing is, this phone cuts off those conversations with people. Because we think everyone's living such a good, perfect life that no one's going through what we're going through. So we never open up the conversation because we don't want to be the one that's like, I'm going through this. But once you really, truly realize, bro, everyone goes through fucking bullshit, man. Everyone struggles mentally. You and your boys, you can open up that conversation, and talk about the truth of life. And actually truly connect with each other, man. I think that's what this world is missing. That's what generation is missing, dude. Is just true connection. We're more connected than ever before, but we're also more lonely than ever before. Isn't that crazy? We're more connected than ever before, but we're more lonely than ever before. And I'll be the first to say, with 300,000 followers across Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, more than 300,000, I still feel fucking lonely at times, bro. Yet somebody on the outside will look at me and be like, he probably has so many options. He probably has so many people hitting him up all the time. He probably has so many friends. And then there's some guy just like me, probably without the followers, sitting at home, thinking about taking his own fucking life because he sees all this shit online, but he doesn't realize that somebody like me who has all these fucking followers feels the same way some fucking times, man. That's why I make these videos. To just be authentically true to people. Life isn't what it seems like. And I think a simple life is the best life. I really do. That's why I'm committing once again to getting off my phone more. That's why I'm committing once again to deleting Snapchat, deleting apps that I don't need, and only using social media to just inspire, just to post, and not being consumed by it. Because then you're able to live such a simpler life, dude. And that's a good life right there. Peace of mind. Life is simply an emotional experience, guys. That's all it is. It's just an emotional experience. The emotions you experience determine everything. Like I said about attitude. You can go through a shitty experience, but have a good attitude towards it, and in turn have a good emotion towards it, right? Have a good outcome. And you can go through a good experience, have a bad attitude towards it, and have a good emotional outcome. Or a bad emotional outcome, right? And have a bad experience from it. But this phone fucking fucks up our fucking perception, man. It really does. It really fucking does, dude. Oh, it's fucking cold out here, guys. It's 7 a.m. Sunday morning. Just got done with my cardio, guys. Hit my 5 a.m. wake up time, and yeah. I just want to challenge you. Get the fuck off this thing for 30 days. Set a screen limit of 1 hour, 2 hours at most. Delete the apps that you don't need. Delete them and just test it out. See if your life gets better or see if your life gets worse. Because the worst case scenario is your life gets worse and you can re-download the apps and go back to whatever you were doing with your phone. Best case scenario, you have more peace of mind. You have more time to reflect. You have more time to get shit done in your life. Because just real quick, take a look at your screen time. How many hours are you spending on your phone? And how could you better use those hours? You could get so far ahead in life with 2-3 more hours in your day. It could even be just sleeping. It could even just be reflecting, reading a book, dude. Doing something good for yourself. Because the answer is never going to be found in your phone, man. The answer to success, the answer to making money, the answer to having a successful relationship, the answer to living a fulfilling life, the answer to what career you should pursue, the answer to how you're going to get in shape, the answer for anything, it isn't found on your fucking phone, man. It's found in yourself. But you're never able to hear your conscience telling you what you need to do in life. You know, we all have these thoughts in our mind. We all have these feelings. And these emotions are here to guide us. That intuition telling you something, that little voice in the back of your head telling you. That is your conscience guiding you in life. It's just we're not able to pay attention to it. When we're constantly fucking distracted and we never get bored. Because when you sit around, you're done with work, you're done with the day, you just pick up your fucking phone and you scroll. And that's why you stay up all night. Because you have all these open thought loops in your mind. And you can't fall asleep because you're thinking through all these different things when you should have been thinking about them throughout the day. But your entire day was just spent looking outwards, never looking inwards. That's the first change I made that year and a half ago when I really turned my life around. Is I started to wake up at 4 a.m. even though I went to work at 10. So I woke up 6 hours before I went to work. Why? Because I needed time. I needed to give myself my own time. I needed to reflect. I needed to look inwards. I needed to think about my own life before I started to look outwards, before I started to give my time to other people, to other things, before I gave attention somewhere else. They always say where attention goes, money flows when it comes to like the stock markets and crypto markets. The same goes for you, bro. If you focus your attention onto yourself, money or value is the best way to put it, is going to flow. You're going to become more valuable. A more valuable human being. And that's how you achieve the relationships you want, the making the amount of money you want, the life you want, is by becoming valuable, man. Something that also sparked this idea last night of kind of creating this video and, you know, deleting these apps again, and really just getting locked in on just my own life and stop being on this phone so much, is there's this one influencer I follow. I don't know his name that well. I don't watch him too well, but I know I follow him. And he posted this story of him and his wife. He's like, I waited 29 years for you, and I would wait 29 more. You were the greatest gift of all. And, you know, being 21 now, one of my big focuses in life is finding that connection. It really is. Finding that really good person to go about life with. And that's when that thought came to me that my wife ain't gonna be fucking found on this phone. My wife ain't gonna be that Instagram model. It ain't gonna be any of the girls in my Snapchat. It ain't gonna be on the fucking phone, bro. My wife's gonna be found somewheres in life, on some journey I go on. Someday in the gym. Someday when I'm just out and about and I least expect it. That's how I'm gonna find it. I know that. I know that for a fact. It's hard to believe because we've always dated people through our phone. We've always gotten the girls' Snapchat from high school or at the gym and or whatever. We've always started talking to them through Snapchat, through Tinder, through Instagram, right? But it's like the way to find a wife 100 years ago was to just find her on some random fucking day that you least expected it. And then truly getting to know that person for who that person is and not through this fucking phone. Because again, 7% of human communication is it's verbal. And so I don't want to use these apps to talk to her. I want to actually be a real human being with that person. And that's going to take some fucking discipline to get the fuck off this phone and be patient. And I think, what you're putting out in this world is what you'll get back. It really is. And so you got to be that person you want to attract. You also got to operate in you got to live your life in a way that will attract the success you want. If you want great things take time. And so you really got to work on yourself. You really got to be able to dive deep into projects and into work. But if every time your fucking phone buzzes and you get that Snapchat, you get that message, and then boom, you're sucked in, back to work. Boom, you're sucked. You're never able to fully focus on that fucking shit, man. So I know I'm kind of rambling on here, but this is just a topic that's been on my mind. And I want to share it with you guys because I think we could all benefit from realizing that these phones are the fucking issues. It really is. It's the issue probably to anything you're ever facing. If you're feeling lost, getting off your phone, that's the solution. If you're feeling depressed, getting off your phone, that's the solution. If you're feeling out of place, if you're feeling like you're not doing good enough in life, getting off your phone, that's the solution. It's the solution to pretty much fucking everything. Take back more of your own time, man. Take back more of your own fucking energy, attention, and time, and give it to yourself. That boredom is great. That having nothing to do is great. Simplicity is great. Don't worry about what the fuck is going out there. Just worry about your life, man. Because most of us are just going through this life not truly living our own life. We're living vicariously through our phones. This fake fucking thing. I love social media. I love technology, but we gotta be fucking disciplined with it, man, and realize these things. Because life could be so much greater with the small realization. It really could. Because I know me, I'm about to have a great day. After this, I'm going to get off this phone. I'm going to put it away, go dial in on work for a couple hours, go hit the gym, go read, go get my things done. And I'm going to feel perfectly fine doing it. Because I wasn't sucked into my phone and I don't care about what the fuck other people are doing. I just care about my life, my emotional experience, man. Where the fuck I'm heading. I ain't got no Snapchat distracting me anymore. I ain't chasing no girls that aren't wifey. That I don't see a future with. None of that, man. yeah. That's the video, guys. I love y'all. Peace.